Our document begins with a detailed table of contents, with each thematic block highlighted for easy navigation. The structure is designed to guide you from high-level strategic decisions down to the specific technical implementations necessary for effective web tracking. The first section focuses on the foundational elements of your web tracking strategy. Before diving into technical configurations, it's crucial to have a clear understanding of your business goals, objectives, and the KPIs that will be essential for tracking performance. This section will help you identify these key factors, ensuring that your tracking efforts align with your overall business strategy. Before moving forward, make sure these foundational elements are clearly articulated and aligned with your overall business strategy. Based on your business structure, you'll need to set up an organized infrastructure for your GA4 accounts, properties, and other related elements. This section provides guidance on how to structure your tracking environment efficiently, ensuring long-term scalability and accuracy. We also include a tracker to help you document your current accounts and plan for future needs, ensuring that you're always aware of what's in place and any potential issues. The next section delves into the heart of your web tracking configuration. This is the most critical part of the document, as the effectiveness of the entire setup hinges on getting this right. These items are critical. Completing them correctly is crucial for capturing accurate and actionable data. Follow the steps closely to ensure your core tracking setup is robust and reliable. As you address more complex tracking needs, this section provides a checklist for additional configurations. These advanced checkpoints will become increasingly important as your project evolves, allowing you to refine and deepen your data collection and analysis. The final section is a tracker for documenting and managing any ongoing issues with your analytics setup. Use this to keep track of problems in one place, making it easier to address them systematically. You can also link these issues directly to specific tasks in your project management system to streamline your workflow. For added convenience, we've included an informative section that addresses some details in setting up a data layer and dynamic remarketing. Use this section to ensure you've covered these critical areas as well. Let's start with the KPI page. This is where you'll define your business goals and key performance indicators, your KPIs. These KPIs are crucial because they guide all your tracking efforts and help you measure success. Now, when you open this page, you'll notice 4 main sections laid out horizontally. The first one is explanations. This is where we break down the different parts of the table we've provided. Think of it as a guide to help you understand what each section is for and how to fill it out effectively. Next, we've drawn up some examples for the 2 most common business types, e-commerce and lead generation. These are there to give you a sense of what kinds of KPIs might be most important for your business. And of course, we recognize that many businesses blend elements of both models, like generating revenue, while also growing a customer base through leads. Finally, we created a big formatted table where you can list your own goals and KPIs, using our examples if you like. Remember, this page is the foundation of your measurement plan. By getting your KPIs right here, you set the stage for everything else to follow. Next, let's take a look at the structure page. This page is particularly helpful if you haven't yet finalized the structure of your GA4 account. But even if you've already set up your account and properties, it's a great opportunity to check your setup against best practices and real-world examples from other businesses. We've also included definitions for the key structural elements, so you don't need to hunt down the documentation yourself. Once you've reviewed everything, we encourage you to adapt the suggested schema to fit your needs. For example, if your business has just one website and no mobile apps, the recommended structure would be 1 account, 1 property, and 1 web stream. Moving forward, the document provides you with structured tables for various tracking aspects. Each table has its own unique features, but I'd like to highlight some additional, less obvious functionality using the first table as an example. Like any table, you can sort and filter by any column header. However, if you want to avoid interfering with your colleagues' work, take a look at the menu in the top left corner. By clicking the table icon there, you can create a temporary filter, visible only to you, which will disappear after refreshing the page. This menu also allows you to create temporary or permanent data groupings. For example, you can group the table by type and easily see the data divided into sections. If you save this grouping, you can quickly access it later from the top menu. For added functionality, we've included drop-downs with predefined categories, which should cover most data types. Of course, you can edit these or add your own categories. The name field lets you include specific users by email, which can later be used for setting up conditional notifications sent to those listed. The file field allows you to attach relevant documents directly to the table, making it easy to find everything in one place. We've also provided a notes field in almost every table for any additional comments you might have. To add new columns, simply use the familiar method, and you can then define their type via the arrow menu on each column header. Lastly, to maintain formatting, add new rows by clicking the plus sign on the row number axis. You can easily set up conditional notifications based on the table. When a status changes, the user listed in the table will receive an email notification. To do this, right-click on the column you want to monitor and select Conditional Notifications. Then, specify the changes you want to track. At the bottom of the menu, choose a column with emails and select the column with their responsible contacts. The recipients will receive a notification, which can include details like the first row value of the trigger column, the change cell value, who made the change, and both the previous and new values, depending on their access level. Just a quick note, don't worry if the notification doesn't arrive immediately. Changes are consolidated, so it might take up to 30 minutes. Be cautious not to overuse this feature, as users can opt out of these notifications, which might mean you lose a valuable way to keep them informed about important updates. On the Accounts page, we've provided a simple tracker for your existing accounts. This helps ensure that you and your team are always aligned, with a clear view of what's set up, what isn't, and who is responsible for each account, so you know exactly who to contact if needed. We've included fields for account IDs, a brief description, status, documentation, and space for your comments and notes. You can also track when the last review of each account took place, making it easy to keep the information up to date. The Events page, despite its simple appearance, is a cornerstone of both this document and your overall measurement plan. Here, you'll document the key events you plan to track on your website. To help you monitor progress, we've included a status system where you can update the implementation process. You'll also find columns to note each event's place in the marketing funnel and any specific implementation details. Pay close attention to documenting how and when each event should trigger. This information will be invaluable later. In the Available Parameters column, list any parameters, including default ones, but especially those you customized in GTM. The Primary Event flag lets you indicate if an event is marked as Key Event for your GA4 setup. Right after that, there are checkboxes sections to confirm whether the event is set up for tracking to your ad platforms. On the Custom page, we provide a space to document your custom definitions in GA4, including both dimensions and metrics. We've combined them into one table since they mainly differ in scope for dimensions and units of measurement for metrics. The table includes all the essential columns you'll need for thoroughly documenting these definitions. The Grouping page is where you can document all the categories on your site for easier tracking of content types. Just noting these categories isn't enough. Setting this up will also require updates to your data layer and GTM configuration. This process is not as straightforward as it may seem. Once you've completed the basic tracking setup and have a clearer view of your tracking landscape, you'll likely have additional features that need extra time and resources. To ensure these outstanding tasks don't slip through the cracks and to assign responsibility, we've created the Advanced Features table. If you're planning to implement tracking for user IDs or server-side tracking, for example, enter these tasks into the tracker. This will help you monitor their progress and keep track of who's responsible for each one. The referrals and domains pages deal with more advanced tracking settings that affect how your traffic is identified in GA4. The unwanted referrals section helps you in organizing your traffic exclusions, mainly third-party sites that you don't want to appear as referral traffic in your GA4 reports. This often includes payment providers and similar sites that may interrupt your users' sessions before returning them to your site after a transaction. The domains page is for setting up cross-domain tracking. Here, you'll list all your domains that you want to unify under one Google tag, allowing cookies to be shared across domains. Note that subdomains don't require this kind of setup, as GA4 handles them without additional configuration. Finally, we have the Issues tracking page. While it might be the last page, it's certainly not the least important. This page is a great tool for project management, especially if you're handling analytics setup as a contractor, or if you have a contractor working for you and lack a shared task management system for creating and monitoring tickets related to tracking issues. In this tracker, you can briefly name the issue, assign a status, and specify its severity: low, moderate, high, critical, and priority, from 1 to 10. You can also describe the issue, assign a responsible person, and, if you actually have a task management system, link to the ticket in that system. We'd recommend utilizing the conditional notifications here to keep everyone updated on the status of these issues. Since the tracker is designed to help organize work from the start of the project, we've included essential documentation for setting up data layer and dynamic remarketing. With our guidance, you'll be able to explain to developers what's needed and why, much more efficiently. Additionally, you can use it to verify that your purchase funnel includes all the key e-commerce events.